Namaskar. External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj was in Tehran on Sunday, and Petroleum Minister Dharmendra Pradhan had visited Tehran last week. He had signed a cooperation agreement for oil exports, petrochemical operations and gas field development. Iran's economy is around $400 billion and is the second largest in West Asia after Saudi Arabia. And the oil-rich nation is now among the world's hottest investment destinations after the critical sectors like oil and gas have been opened up for joint ventures and foreign capital. Japan, China and the United States and Europe are all looking to take advantage of opportunities in the oil-rich Iran. After holding delegation-level talks with her counterpart, Javad Zarif, which focused on boosting ties in energy and trade, Sushma Swaraj also met the Iranian President Hassan Rouhani, who assured her that Iran could be a reliable partner for India's energy needs. She, on her part, told the Iranian leadership that the relationship with Tehran should move beyond a buyer-seller relationship. So to discuss this important visit of the External Affairs Minister to Iran, we have with us in the studio Dinkar Prakash Srivastav, who is the former ambassador of India to Iran. Thank you very much, sir, for being with us. And Dr. Zakir Hussain is Research Fellow at the Indian Council for World Affairs. Thank you very much for being with us. We'll start with you, Ambassador Srivastav. First, put it into context. How important is this relationship itself with Iran? And also post the sanctions being lifted on Iran?
India and Iran had a contiguous border before the partition. Today they are neighbor's neighbor, and that gives this relationship a permanent strategic importance. This goes beyond any particular phase, and we did maintain full spectrum of engagement with Iran even during sanction period.
Yes.
And this included continued crude purchase, and this included contacts at the highest political level. The then Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh visited Iran in 2012 for the NAM summit, and apart from that, we did have a series of other important visits, which included our speaker, our energy minister,
sure,
and others. We have a two-way trade and economic relationship which is above $15 billion.
Okay.
And Iran has three critical advantages for us. It has surplus hydrocarbon resources. It has it provides us with a transit corridor to Russia and CIS countries, what is called International North-South Transit Corridor. And third, Chabahar Port,
okay,
which is our shortest land access to Afghanistan.
Okay, so that's wonderful. You've given us 3 points for strategic importance, but strategically also, Mr. Dr. Zakir Hussain, it has to be looked at in the whole context of West Asia and what is happening in West Asia, and the very fact that India has such a large presence of people living in West Asia, and the peace and stability of West Asia was also important to India's interests, isn't it?
Yeah, we have shared interest in stabilizing the region, because if region is stable, then we can meet our strategic as well as economic relations, particularly promoting our investment, protecting the welfare of our migrant workers, around 7 million, we all know. And the role of Iran is very important, particularly when its influence in the region has grown in the last 1 decade.
Okay.
So without Iran, one cannot think of stabilizing the region. It is a heavy weight in the region. Beyond that, Iran also plays a key role in stabilizing the disturbed region in South Asia, particularly Afghanistan and Pakistan.
Okay.
So at a regional and global level, Iran's role has enhanced, particularly after the lifting of the sanction. So by looking our relation with Iran, it is historically it is very old, and we have very close civilizational contacts, which still continues in various forms. Though during a sanction period our relation dipped down, but not in quality term, but in quantity term, because Iran was second largest oil supplier to us.
Right.
It receded to 7th position or below that. Our trade also suffered because of payment problem.
That's right.
And like that issues. But again, when world is rallying to invest in Iran, we are also ready. There, our private sector is also ready to invest there around $20 billion. And Iranian economy is offering around more than $95 billion of investment in oil, modernizing its oil field, building infrastructure.
Sure.
And
so let's take it from there, Ambassador Srivastava. The fact that hydrocarbons is important, and now the sector is opened also for foreign investment, and India can play a significant role here. And we've Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan went there just last week. And he did say beyond the 350,000 barrels that we are importing per day, we need to do much more. Talked about the Chabahar port and that agreement that was signed also, to increase our needs and our energy needs. And then the president of Iran himself telling our external affairs minister that Iran can be a reliable partner for India's energy needs. So energy is definitely the focus, isn't it?
Yes, energy is one of the focus areas, and as I mentioned, they have surplus hydrocarbon resources.
Sure.
And we have a large and growing market.
Yes.
And the proximity gives it an added advantage for, with minimum freight. You can bring the Iranian oil and gas to India. Iran also offers very lucrative opportunities for investment in upstream sector for oil and gas exploration.
Yes.
Which is not available in many other countries. This is something which we can now build on.
Is this competitive now, considering that, since sanctions have been lifted, other countries are also interested, and we have had a historical advantage in a sense because our relations with Iran are good?
Let me point out something. Iran has made a unique gesture in offering Farzad B offshore gas field.
Yes.
Outside the bidding process to India. And this was made during my term, and they have kept their commitment, and the negotiations are going on. So this goes back beyond the normal competitive tendering, but we do also have opportunity to take part in the international competitive bidding once that starts, which is expected in another couple of months' time.
So, Dr. Zakir Hussain, beyond oil, there is a lot more that is also there. I mean, culturally, there's plenty that the countries share. But the president of Iran wants to talk about academic, scientific, and technological fields. This is where we should be moving, is what he said. What do you think?
Yes, Iran, if we compare Iran with other countries in the region, Iran is one of the top, among the top, and it's particularly the middle class is a very enlightened one, and it is ready to adopt new things. And before this sanction, our relation with Iran was very deep in this field. Particularly, the areas where we want to work is to contain terrorism with the use of technology, cyber security, space, and all these things are important.
Right.
So, if we look the presence of Iranian students in India, it is around 8 to 10,000 students are taking education in India. Though before 1979 it was more than that, 50,000 around, and we hope that if our situation improves, the Iranian student will again come and join to our educational institution. Basically, what I think that Iran, we have to explore this relation with a new momentum, particularly in the post-sanction era. India was not very much bold to declare.
But which are the areas we should be focusing on in the post-sanctions era, is what I'm
like science and technology, what you said. Iran automobile industry is very important, infrastructure is very important, space is important, cyber security is important, counter-terrorism is important.
Okay.
All these are
you named quite a few already. Ambassador Srivastava, there are some pending agreements also which they say should be done on a priority. There's a preferential trade agreement which is pending, double taxation avoidance agreement pending, bilateral investment treaty which is pending. What do you make of all this?
I think there's a need to move forward and move fast. These are things which we need to clinch, and many other countries have already done so. Especially the bilateral investment promotion and protection agreement, because our investment in Chabahar as well as upstream oil and gas exploration, petrochemical sector, all these will require a framework.
Okay.
And that also goes for other agreements which you mentioned.
We're going to take a short commercial break at this point in time. You're watching our discussion on the External Affairs Minister's visit to Iran. Do stay with us.
सूखा हो या बेमौसम की बरखा हो, कीड़ा लगे खेत में या दुविधा हो, बहुत ही कम प्रीमियम पे पूरी हो भरपाई, फसल बीमित रहे
कटाई के बाद भी भाई।
हाँ, ऋणी या अऋणी अब हर किसान लाभ उठाए, एक मौसम कदर है सब किसान बीमा कराए, प्रधानमंत्री फसल बीमा योजना से हर किसान मुस्काए।
कृषि और किसान कल्याण मंत्रालय द्वारा किसान हित में जारी।
बच्चों, आज हम ऑड इवन के बारे में पढ़ेंगे। ऑड इवन का मतलब
मैम 15 अप्रैल नहीं मैम, 15 अप्रैल से 30 अप्रैल तक। ऑड का मतलब ऑड डे पर और नंबर की गाड़ी, और इवन डेट पर इवन नंबर की गाड़ी।
बच्चों को भी पता है, क्या आपको पता है?
दिल्ली में 15 से 30 अप्रैल तक लागू है ऑड इवन, ताकि प्रदूषण और ट्रैफिक जैम से मिले दिल्ली को राहत।
आप सबने दुनिया भर में क्या मिसाल बनाई है, जिस सफाई से आपने कचरा वहीं फेंक दिया। और मन्नू आंटी क्या कूड़ा फेंकती हैं, ओलंपिक्स के गोला फेंकने वाले भी शर्मा जाएं। और ये देखिए, लक्ष्मी भाभी की सफाई तो गांव-गांव में प्रसिद्ध है। हमारे सुखिया भैया मन की करते, जहां सोचा वहीं शौच कर दिया। ये देश जो आप ही का घर है, उसे क्यों गंदा करते हैं? थोड़ी शर्म कर लो, सोच स्वच्छ कर लो।
अगर एक बार 125 करोड़ देशवासी तय कर लें कि मैं गंदगी नहीं करूंगा, तो दुनिया की कोई ताकत नहीं है जो हिंदुस्तान को गंदा कर सकती है।
स्वच्छ भारत, एक कदम स्वच्छता की ओर।
भारत में लगभग 3 करोड़ विकलांगजन हैं, किंतु हमारे सरकारी भवन, अस्पताल, विद्यालय विकलांगजनों के लिए सुगम्य नहीं है। यही हाल हमारे रेलवे स्टेशन, बस स्टॉप, बसों तथा रेलगाड़ियों का है। हमारी वेबसाइट्स यदि W3C सुगम्यता मापदंडों को पूरा नहीं करती, तो वे दृष्टिबाधित और श्रवण बाधित व्यक्तियों के लिए पूरी तरह उपयोगी नहीं है। आइए हम बाधा रहित वातावरण का निर्माण करें। सुगम्य भारत अभियान। देश का प्रत्येक विकलांगजन अन्य सामान्य व्यक्तियों के समान स्वावलंबी होकर सम्मान और गरिमा के साथ जीवन यापन करे। सुगम्य भारत, सशक्त भारत।
सूखा हो या बेमौसम की बरखा हो, कीड़ा लगे खेत में या दुविधा हो, बहुत ही कम प्रीमियम पे पूरी हो भरपाई, फसल बीमित रहे
कटाई के बाद भी भाई।
हाँ, ऋणी या अऋणी अब हर किसान लाभ उठाए, एक मौसम कदर है सब किसान बीमा कराए, प्रधानमंत्री फसल बीमा योजना से हर किसान मुस्काए।
कृषि और किसान कल्याण मंत्रालय द्वारा किसान हित में जारी।
14 अप्रैल अंबेडकर जी का जन्म दिवस है। पहली बार राजपथ पर अंबेडकर जी के जीवन परिचय से संबंधित एक झांकी निकाली गई थी। डाक टिकट जारी किए, 10 रुपए और 125 रुपए का सिक्का जारी किया। भारत सरकार ने 15 जनपद पर डॉक्टर भीमराव अंबेडकर अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सेंटर की स्थापना का निर्णय लिया। 26 अलीपुर रोड अंबेडकर जी का महापरिनिर्वाण स्थल है। वहाँ 100 करोड़ की लागत से राष्ट्रीय स्मारक बनाने का निर्णय लिया। जन्मभूमि, शिक्षा भूमि, दीक्षा भूमि, महापरिनिर्वाण भूमि और चैत्य भूमि, इन 5 तीर्थों को सुरक्षित रखने और भव्यता प्रदान करने का निर्णय किया है। 26 नवंबर संविधान दिवस के रूप में मनाया जाएगा और अंबेडकर जी की जयंती समरसता दिवस के रूप में हमेशा मनाने का निर्णय लिया है।
अरे मेला है, हाँ मेला है, हाँ मेला है, ग्राम उदय का मेला है। हर पंचायत में लाया नया सवेरा है, नया सवेरा है।
ग्राम उदय से भारत उदय अभियान 14 से 24 अप्रैल 2016 को प्रत्येक ग्राम पंचायत में आजादी के बाद पहली बार गांव, किसान और गरीब के विकास के लिए ग्राम उदय से भारत उदय समारोह। दूसरा चरण 17 से 20 अप्रैल को ग्राम किसान सभा, जिसमें मिलेगी कृषि संबंधी सभी योजनाओं की जानकारी। प्रधानमंत्री फसल बीमा योजना, कृषि सिंचाई योजना, मिट्टी जांच, नीम कोटेड यूरिया जैसे अन्य कई कार्यक्रम की जानकारी गांव वालों को दी जाएगी। मेला है भाई मेला, ग्राम उदय का मेला है। ग्राम उदय से भारत उदय अभियान। अधिक जानकारी के लिए अपने ग्राम पंचायत से संपर्क करें।
Welcome back. We are discussing Indo-Iran relations in the context of the External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj's visit to Iran. And we have with us in the studio Ambassador Dinkar Prakash Srivastav, former Indian ambassador to Iran, and Dr. Zakir Hussain, research fellow at ICWA. Dr. Zakir Hussain, how important is this contract, the commercial contract on Chabahar, which will come out very soon, in the context of connectivity to Central Asia and Afghanistan and our relationship with these areas and India's relationship with these areas?
It's very important because it is removing Pakistan, which has been a perennial hitch in our relation, in our connectivity with this region. Chabahar will link Afghanistan, provide Afghanistan a way out, then Iran, then Central Asia, from Central Asia to East to Europe, and which railway line is connecting, or 3 or 4 connectivity is going on. If anything is, if it materializes, as India has given 150 million line of credit to cabinet has passed, that within no time that the 2 markets will be connected and it will reach to Europe, as well as if we strengthen the security line of this, then it will also help in stabilizing the region. And if positive benefits are coming out, then TAPI and other pipeline will be a successful story. So Chabahar is a way out to boycott Pakistan, which has been playing its role, we all know very much. Then heart of Asia, which is Afghanistan, which is going to become the center and connectivity of the 2 Asias, Asia, Central Asia, South Asia, West Asia. Then if India becomes a hub of Southeast Asia, then entire Asia will be connected. Here India can play a key role, supported by Iran, Chabahar, Russia and other regions. So in good faith, I feel that if this connectivity improves, then perhaps the Asian century will be on our doorstep in a larger manner, what I think.
So, Ambassador Srivastav, can this in a sense be a very defining relationship over a period of time for the Asian century? Also looking at it from the point of view of stability in West Asia, Sunni-Shia relations. I mean, we know the Prime Minister visited Saudi Arabia just a short while last month, end of last month. And now the External Affairs Minister visits Iran, 2 important players in the region.
Chabahar, as I mentioned earlier, is a very critical link in connectivity to Afghanistan and CIS countries. It will also lead to development of that region. Eastern part of Iran, what is called Sistan Balochistan province, which is a priority of Iranian government, as President Rouhani has mentioned again and again. We have excellent relations with Iran as well as Arab countries.
Sure.
And we would naturally like this entire region to be a stable region where everyone can share in the prosperity.
Okay. Now, talking about that stability, Dr. Hussain, there is the rise of IS. There are these wars that are going on, Syria, Yemen, Iraq. Situation is not very stable at all. How does India approach this region then, in the context of what is happening, around?
Look, our stake is very high in the region. So unless there is stability, we will not be able to harness our stake. And the Gulf region is our maritime neighborhood. We have our previous Prime Minister, this Prime Minister has several times said about this. The rise of these destabilizing forces is not confined to the region alone. If we look, their expanding footprints in Afghanistan, in Libya, in North Africa, in other parts of the world. The entire things are being affected. So it is very important, and particularly in the view that when USA under Pivot Asia policy is shifting its focus, then the responsibility of big nations whose stakes are higher in the region, particularly India, China, Japan, South Korea. So the responsibility of this nation is that to share their security system and stabilize the region. This is very important, and India can play a key role in this because of if Chabahar is improved, we can connect via land and Indian Ocean, and we can also stabilize the two choke points through which Hormuz and Bab al-Mandab, through which more than 20-25% of the total world oil transits, and India's maritime trade, which is also very important, that 90% in volume and 77% in value, it is passing through that. So our stake is greater than any other country in the region. So we have also pursued a policy, a patient policy. We are not putting off Saudi Arabia and Iran. Rather, we are telling both the countries are important for us, and both the countries can play a key role in stabilizing the region. And during the visit of our Prime Minister to Saudi Arabia to the beginning of this month, so we added more political and security content in our strategic relations, because if we look the joint statement in that, more than 40% of the statements are covering the terrorism. Both were deciding that each other's territory will not be used for destabilizing. And earlier, the visit to UAE, again, more than 45-50% of the total joint statement was carrying stability and counter-terrorism policy. So the expanding network of IS, particularly through social media, is very important to contain it.
Ambassador Srivastav, the fact that we have in the region, entire West Asia, about 8 million Indians living and working, and they play an important role also in the relationship and important stake that India has because of them. In Iran, particularly, what is the number of Indians and what kind of a role do they play?
We have about 3,000 Indians in Iran. This includes a large Sikh community. They are basically in business, and this also includes a number of Shia students who go for theological studies to Qom and Mashhad, two of the theological centers. Then there are some of the Indian companies who have their offices, like ONGC Videsh has an office in Tehran. Also SR has an office in Tehran. So we have a fairly diversified group.
Okay. And their contribution to the relationship?
They do have a major contribution to the relationship. The Sikh community particularly, they have been there since before the partition. And they provide an important trading link. The numbers have come down, but they still remain important.
Okay, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much. We don't have time for anything more. Thank you for joining us on this discussion.
Thanks.
Well, the External Affairs Minister told the Iranian leadership that India always considered Iran as part of its extended neighborhood. Prime Minister Modi had recently visited Saudi Arabia. Nearly 8 million Indians live and work in West Asia, and India's interests go beyond trade and commerce. They have strong links in history and culture. And in the current context, India has vital stakes in the Chabahar port project because it enhances connectivity with Central Asia and Afghanistan. The visit has to be seen in the context of the overall West Asia initiative. The External Affairs Minister had visited Palestine, Israel and Jordan as well in January. And Iran is a key factor for West Asia stability, especially in the context of the rise of IS, the wars in Syria, Iraq and Yemen, all that creating enough volatility in the region. Thanks very much for watching. Namaskar.